Medea right now, so he can't include himself.
Steve Neal, how many more minutes we got, man, before we go live?
0.
Oh, we live already?
It's loading now.
Oh, it's live.
We live, baby.
We live. I just got the notification.
We live, little baby face.
Ooh, look at me. I look good. Jeez, Mella. I'll put it on Instagram. We love.
And this way I get to put a title on it immediately.
Hey, man. Steve Neal, you look like a Mennonite.
A what? That's funny.
Mennonites are like Quakers.
Yeah.
Yeah. They always had that kind of hat, and he got that kind of beard that they had.
There it is.
Look like you finna tell somebody a strong Bible scripture.
A strong one?
A strong.
He gonna preach it. Most Mennonites preach out of the Old Testament. They don't fool that New Testament stuff. Share to all your platforms.
We're live. It's gonna like super awkwardly quiet.
Yes.
Podcast.
My punctuation keys don't work. Check me out. Check me out. Alright, let me just turn this
Glory to the Lamb. Come on, help me say, yeah. We give all to the Lamb. We sing glory to the Lamb. I'm playing the piano.
Oh, she going to the skate room.
'Cause he is.
What's up, everyone?
Hey.
Welcome to episode 203. Darius is singing.
Forever.
Keep y'all entertained.
Forever is he.
In the
And
meantime,
he will reign.
in the meantime, between time, there's
Gonna take you to the cross.
render a selection for you.
You know what I'm saying? Take you to Jesus' foots. So you get some of that foot dust in your face. It'll help you through your week. And it is anointed. Yeah.
Foot dust.
Yeah, get some of Jesus' foot dust. You seen how she was crying and washing the dust off Jesus' feet with her hair and tears? She probably never have to wash her hair again. That hair was probably anointed. That's where Rapunzel come from, because her hair couldn't stop growing. And she threw her hair down the chimney to help the little prince up. That's where Rapunzel come from. That girl that was wiping her hair on Jesus' foot got that dust and Jesus' essence in her hair, like herbal essence, the shampoo.
Right now?
Yeah.
Just me, probably.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, you did that.
You did.
You know what I mean?
Ooh. That was a lot.
Well, I'm glad that the audio didn't get that.
Why not?
Huh?
Huh?
What? What you said?
No.
Testing your mama? Darius, goodbye.
Who said that?
Darius.
Who said that?
I'm
Darius.
sleeping, man. I'm finna go in. Going from started from the bottom. Now, hey, y'all.
Oh, we got 111 subscribers.
Hey, man, you don't share it to all your
Jordan
platforms.
Davis, I see you.
No, yeah.
And he will reign. I'm finna share it to the group mates.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
You
I
ain't
can't
got
really
nobody
see
here.
who live.
You'll see in a minute. It ain't when people came on yet. It's early.
Alright, Facebook.
And you were right. Sorry for all the dead air.
Yes.
I mean, ain't nobody here.
This is the cardinal sin.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody here.
If you show up on time, we wouldn't have this dead air, people. But we have to come call you, knock on doors like Jehovah's Witnesses in the digital realm.
Well,
Oh.
we were late.
I mean, but we can always edit it on YouTube now. You can like trim it down
Yeah.
and start right where we start, so that people that are looking at the
Playback.
yeah.
Playback. So did it post or no?
Hey, Jasmine, welcome.
Who is Jasmine?
Brown.
Thank you.
Come on through with the
For
come
being
on
our
first.
and only.
Come on now. Go get your friends.
Chimel.
Tell them I said come. Come to the water. All who are thirsty.
I'm just putting a bunch of hashtags and such.
On what?
And I can add some more too, because the new thing that I have, the video IQ thing, gives suggestions based on conversation. We lit. Tell Zoe I said hello. And I love her. And give her a kiss for me. Thank you. Rusty's over here
Yeah,
too.
the whole family.
The fam bam.
All right.
Who's the whole
Now it's a party.
The Brown family.
That's what's up.
The brown family.
And their brown family.
Yeah, so let me start sharing stuff as well.
We're just sharing on various platforms, you know, trying to get people in here
All right.
before we get into the discussional
About your cousins and them.
in them.
I mean, invite everybody. Ugly people,
Everybody.
pretty people, nappy faced people, dusty footed people.
How does a face
Everybody.
happen?
Yeah, I seen it. You know what I'm saying? My face half nappy.
Half?
Because my follicles ain't got all the way
My-
straightened together yet, but they coming.
Follicles.
Yes, follicles.
You know what I'm saying? They
I
coming.
guess I'm the third person watching.
Probably 4.
Probably.
I'm 4.
You
Alright, let's see. Share on Twitter. What do
You know
want to
half
say?
of these people that I see on the book of Instagram,
What?
I don't like them.
Why?
I don't know. I just ain't.
Hey, people who look at Instagram and Facebook.
And bump y'all.
Oh, I miss Zoe today too. I didn't get my love.
Ah, you lame. I got some love from Zoe. Ha ha, I'm better.
Actually, I tried to get some love from her earlier, but Brudia kicked me out of the room. So,
Yeah, because you ain't supposed to be in there.
first of all, I know
Yeah.
that.
Security.
I know
Courage.
that. So she
Don't
kicked
play
me
no
out.
games.
And
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what I did right after church. I went to go break down my
Don't
stuff.
play them games. We like it down.
Not on my watch.
Play. I'm out here roaming the halls looking.
It's
to see you
understandable.
come.
She's gonna be in
Babies
there
is
next
on a
month.
good watch with me.
They're
Huh?
Zoe's gonna be in there next month.
I know it's
Sure
it's
is.
good.
She growing up so fast.
My mom just texted me and said that my sister and her are watching. I think my dad is too. So, hey, family.
Hi.
What's up, family? You
gonna get started in
We'll
a few.
get started in a few, you know, thank you. Now I gotta act right. Got it. You know, people dad is watching.
People's dad is watching.
Oh my gosh.
So y'all ready?
Yeah.
We finna officially start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, we done warmed up for y'all long enough.
We got some people here.
Yes.
Gee, okay.
Just refill my tea and get on the refills.
I don't want no scrubs. Scrubs, a guy can't get no love from.
I don't want no scrubs.
Scrubs is
A girl that can't get no love from me. Cause I'm married and my wife is on the passenger side and she'll shoot at you.
Oh!
Alright, man, I'm finna go ahead and hit El Ricardo burden.
Okay.
What's up? You alright? You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
You cool?
I'm good.
Alright, where you going?
Enjoy your show. I'll tune in.
Where you going?
Where you going?
You guys went deep with some good and something amazing this week.
Okay.
Have fun.
Is it who is
That's
fuck?
good.
Build me a house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright.
See you guys in a bit.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright. Y'all ready?
Yes.
5, 4,
7,
3, 2.
37.
Oh, it ain't started yet. I'm gonna wait. What up, everybody? It's your boy, Darius J.
And I'm Stevie Neal.
And this your girl, Mella Wayne.
Who is that? With special guest.
R. Jordan Davis.
R.
And Jordan Davis.
R. Jordan Davis.
Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 203
Of Convrs8.
of Convrs8. You know what I'm saying? You know, how y'all doing? I hope good. But anyway, we are a collective of minds coming together to give you our opinions and thoughts on topics that we deem necessary or noteworthy. Guests ranging from no collar to white collar coming to you in a godly fashion. So friends, millennials, and countrymen and women, PC, lend us your ears cause it's all love. We are the voice of regular people, and regular people make the world go round.
People make the world go round.
Man, I want that to be in there right there. Just insert it. What's up, everybody, man? How you live? Mella Wayne.
You know, formerly known as Mella G. Before I get into how I'm living, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, click the bell, so that you will be able to know when we go live, when we post our series, Blockbuster Dominance and Mella Reacts, and just follow us along on our journey as we are striving to influence the world, make an impact.
Click it.
So subscribe now. Now, how I've been living. I've been living really good.
That's good.
I've gotten some opportunities that I can't disclose at the moment because it's pretty confidential.
Top secret security.
But-
Top secret. Top flight of the world, Craig.
But it's a very, very, very great opportunity that I'm very excited about.
Very.
I've definitely been taking a lot of classes outside of my master class that I'm getting for creative writing at Full Sail. So I've been doing a lot of YouTube Bing.
You finna do that thing.
You know, so I'm trying to get on this social media marketing thing, you know, just trying to find the best possible ways for us to advertise and promote ourselves. You know, try to create different algorithms. I'm actually trying to come up with my own. So, you know, yeah, I think being able to, even this week, like even spiritually, it's been really, really good. Just so each week I've dedicated Tuesdays through Thursdays to fast, just as a spiritual discipline, and I've chosen to fast from my personal social medias, and also just kind of like filtering my music.
That's good.
And I feel like because I've been doing it consistently, I don't even have a desire to post on social media as much. I feel like the most recent that I've been posting is because I've been shouting out, people in my life that I aspire to be and that inspire me for each day of Black History Month. Yeah. But I haven't really been posting on my story like that, and it's not even a desire to do it either. And I just noticed the difference, and it's like I'm yearning for more of God than I am for social media. But on the business side, I'm definitely just looking into like analytics to just be able to grow so that we can get our voice out there and that we can make more of an impact to those who are listening now and that will listen in the future.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to get some new people too. In a little while, you ain't going to be able to get in on us because we'll shut the internets down.
So that's how I've been living. How you been living, Stevie Neal?
Stevie Neal, keep it real.
Well, I mean, it's been kind of a long week, really, because I know I'm going to be off Thursday and Friday next week. So it made this week longer, at work.
Crab legs.
Yes, Gary's just cut straight to the chase. Yes.
Oh, we're having crab legs too on Wednesday.
Yeah? Really? Really? Okay.
We're having all you can eat.
We're having all you can eat at Fisherman's Catch.
And shrimps.
Off Highway 78.
Highway 78. And you better be open.
You better be open. We have done the intel. We made the calls.
Okay, because if they ain't open, I'm butting that place down.
Oh.
We made the calls. We made sure. They promised someone they'd be open on Thursday.
They promised somebody.
They have to. They have to be open. But yes.
I can't take the letdown.
Can't take any more letdowns. Okay. There's, they let the married people have like the midweek off to.
I'm so excited for you guys.
Because wives are in their feelings.
Yeah, wives.
This.
Baby, do you love me? Are we riding?
Russell said
yes, the Browns will join us coming. So,
exactly. Yeah,
so yes, I'm excited for that. So that is basically lengthened my whole week anticipating Thursday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how I'm living, and just some more growth stuff, more spiritual stuff. I mean, today's message was very convicting.
Oh yeah.
You
should go listen to it tomorrow.
Getting more Jesus in my life and less of everything else.
Yeah.
So just being less reliant on other stuff, more reliant on Jesus. So.
Amen.
Yep. So that's how I've been living. How you been living? R. Jordan Davis. Special guest.
This past week was great. We campus started our first AUC Bible talk in 4 years on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that was amazing.
A long time.
Yeah, that was amazing. We had a great turnout. We were talking about relationships since Valentine's Day is coming up. So that's always a great topic to kind of go over with college students. So that was good. Other than that, my week was pretty good. I'm in school, so I'm doing regular college student life. Studying. Trying not to starve. But
the noodles and noodles.
But life is great. Life is great. I don't have any major responsibilities right now, so I can't complain.
That's good. I remember that life. More of the starving part, but
I actually don't.
AUC. That's what I said.
Yeah.
There's Jay. How you living?
Nah, I'm good, man. I've been living well, you know what I mean? I've been working, you know what I mean, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying, towards the end of 2019, trying to do something new, trying to get something bigger, better off the ground. As far as like business, you know what I mean, and just trying to grow, man. You know what I mean. I ain't trying to be get the whole pie, but I do want a portionable slice of my own. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like working for people. So trying to figure that out, put a plan together, talk to people, and get ideas, and talk to some people that are more seasoned than I know a lot about what I'm finna go and do, but still, you know what I mean, just the business aspect. And keeping up with the books and all that stuff like that. A little rusty on, you know what I mean? So, taking it on and trying to build my own logistics company, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So trying to make it do what it do.
Big Draco.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm telling you, y'all don't understand the name of my app. Never mind. I ain't gonna put it out there. One of y'all might steal it.
It's exciting. There know so many entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do our thing, and plus trying to do my thing and building this brand right here. There's a bunch of brands I gotta help build up in 2019, and I want to be as effective as all my compadres need me to be. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to push us forward for as Convrs8 Media Collective. I want to be able. But the only way I see these things working is teamwork. You know what I'm saying? Mela has a mind for this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm glad she on board because she really do the mental mapping. I'm a dreamer. I throw a lot of ideas in the air, but I really don't write it down on paper and have a plan. So sometimes I forget my ideas. But Mela's calendar keeps us in line. You know what I mean? Because she don't like mess. So she helps, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to learn what she knows so I can help her, you know what I'm saying? I've been looking at editing software and stuff like that on YouTube videos and trying to learn stuff, and seem to be going pretty good. I'm gonna try to get a whole nother week to learn that stuff, because I seem to pick up on stuff like that pretty fast. So you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna just see what I learn. If I learn, and I'll be like, hey, Mel, give me a dry run. I'm going to take some and chop it up. If it ain't right, I'm going to just delete it and be like, hey, Mel, I'm sorry I wasted your time.
I'm sure that wouldn't be the case.
But, you know what I mean? Just learning, man. I feel like this year is, like, I did some stuff last year, but I feel like this year I just been learning, you know what I'm saying, new things. I've been learning what I want to do going forward.
Yeah.
I want my 36th year of living. I know I don't look 36, y'all. I know I've been dipped in the fountain youth. I understand. Okay. My mama don't get old, and nobody in my family get old, except for old people. But, but you know what I mean? I'm just trying to, grow, man, and continue to get better. You know what I mean? Trying to help some of the future leaders come up. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of young wolves out here that's trying to be all they can be in life, so I want to be able to help them, you know what I'm saying, get where they need to be a supporting cast. But I don't want nobody to have my name out there either. Okay. So if I'm helping you, don't tell nobody.
Okay.
Just let me help and shut
up. Shut up. All right. Well, it seems like everybody is living pretty good around here in these parts. We're going to jump into these topics for today. So first on the list, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce her name right, but correct me if I'm wrong, and I apologize in advance. Is it Camilla or Camilla?
I think it's Camilla. I think Kamala.
Yeah, I think that's that.
Camilla or Kamala.
Kamala. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong,
K.
but K.
Yeah.
Anywho, so basically she went to go take the SAT. Scored a 900 back in October 2018. Was encouraged by her counselor to take it again. A few months later, and made 300 points higher. Well, 330 points higher. Yeah. She made a 1230, and so now her score is actually invalid and is being held and investigated by the College Board because they think that she cheated on the SAT, because there's no possible way that you can make a 900 and jump up that much points within the time frame that she took the SAT scores.
Yeah, according to them.
According to them.
According to them. Yeah, I'm about to say, because that's not, I have seen that done before.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not possible. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Just speaking from experience, I know several classmates of mine that took the SAT over again and did way better.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the first experience is jarring, you know what I'm saying? It's stressful.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't good test takers, so they have to experience it once in order to give their best at it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like me, I'm a test taker. I don't feel no kind of anxiety about taking tests. You throw a piece of paper in front of me, I'll be like, well, let's do it. You know what I mean? So if I know it, I know it, and I don't. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't front, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, she saw it, and then she might have been one of them people that's like, oh, I experienced it, now I know what I expect. I know what my weak points is, because how you know she didn't come outside of that test and say, I know what I was not good at, so I'm going to study and get better on that and attack it. You know what I mean? 3 months is a lot of time to study if you diligently study.
Yeah.
And she ain't got no job. She a student, so she got no time to study. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like it's impossible. I hate when people are like, oh, it's impossible. Nah, it's probably you, little dummy. You know what I'm saying? Speak for yourself.
Darius.
Huh?
Little dummy.
So yeah, this happened in Miami-Dade area, which kind of makes me more suspicious of the circumstances around this, to where I just feel like, and I'll just cut to the chase, if this was a child from
it was Trevor Clever
somewhere else, this would not be in question.
Who is Trevor Clever?
If it was Trevor Boskowitz from Alpharetta, wouldn't have been no problem.
Because this is what tutors set out to do. This is the success story that they want.
Right.
That somebody struggles with the test because it's stressful. You know, like Darius was saying, you know, it determines so much, so people might just shrink up. And then once they get practice, they'll be able to accumulate points where they need to accumulate points with your strength. Whether it's reading or whether it's the math side. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, coming up, the reading side was my strong side.
Yeah.
I got 680 out of my 1150 from reading and writing. So I mean, so yeah, I was really bad at math and really good at the other side. So.
Yeah.
And I think she just did what most students do. I didn't take the SAT, but when I took the ACT, I just went in and took it cold turkey to see a baseline, a rough kind of number of what I would get when taking it. And from my understanding, she did the same thing, went back, got a tutor, got a couple of practice books, and really studied and really put forth the effort to get the score that she wanted, because I believe she wanted to get into Florida State. And so that was her first choice. And now, because the score is being investigated, she has missed the deadline to apply to Florida State. And so it's just an unfortunate situation, and I hate that it is happening to children that look like us. And it happens often in so many parts of the country. This is just one scenario that is actually getting highlighted. And so it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
It really is. I'm just like, because the highest score that you can make is a 1600.
Right.
So it's like
without the
essay part. Without the essay. So it's just like,
dang,
why set the limit to there, like, when you know that it's possible to reach, even if within the time span? Because I know when I was reading the article, they were saying like there's, okay, of course, like when you do the math portion and different things, like you have to write, you know, not have to, but like you have scratched piece of paper to write down your problems and work them out. And so they were kind of saying, because she didn't turn in something with something written on it, it was suggested that maybe she had copied it from one of her, you know, fellow test takers. But I'm just like, if y'all have the same test, of course it's gonna look the same, because it's like you all have the same questions. It might not be in necessarily the same order, but it's the same question. So if y'all both got it right, because it's the same question.
And now that you mention it, I thought that, you know, if you're in close proximity with test takers, they give you a test that's in a different order.
Yeah, they do.
You know, so
it's like an A, B, C.
And just copy their scan transcript.
And they do that. They do that. You know,
they have different types of tests.
Dang, they could have investigated me if I was really about that life. You know what I'm saying? Because I just did one hit acquittal with the SATs. I took the SATs in 10th grade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I scored my score, and I was like, hey, that was good enough for me. I'm done. Bye. You know what I'm saying? Because I hit that, once I hit that 350, that 1350, I was like, oh, that's good enough. Once
I hit that 350, I need
350. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I'm done here. I ain't got to take this ever again. And they was like, well, you should try again. I'm like, nope. That can get me anywhere I want to go.
Nah, I tried again for that 1200, and I got even lower to my 1150. I got like a 1020 my second time taking it, so I just like, I'll just keep that 1150.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not good with tests at all. I get very anxious.
Yeah, let's just show up. Show up. I can sit down in the test and like, hey man, I'm gonna eat you or you gonna eat me. And I'm home.
So the question, I mean, even though I think this is something that she's already considering, like, do you think that she should take it over? Because the thing is, it's like if she takes it over and gets an even higher score, then what? You know, like if she gets an even higher score, but I don't even know how she's gonna test now because of all the stress and the pressure and all these different things. And I know that she said that there's something that she will possibly do, but do you think that will be beneficial for her?
No, it won't. Because it's just like, because things in those situations, man, I just like, yo, they just trying to. It's like freezing out a kicker in football. Yep. You know what I mean? Like you just. Thing. You build more anxiety because now she got pressure.
Right.
She had pressure on the first test and she went back prepared herself for the second test. Now she got all this undue pressure. Like if I go lower, then they gonna say they were right. You know what I'm saying? Right. If I score higher, they can say that I cheated again. She between a rock and a hard place. You know what I'm saying? Like she has no way out but through this legal system, which I hope works in her favor, because too many times that they just lawyer people to death where it just get to the point where the people get tired of fighting. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because as black families, few of them do have the financial means to keep going to court because court costs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like money. A lot of money. You know what I mean? So it ain't just like you walking in there like, yeah, we're going to court. It's like, well, here go the fees that have been racked up from your visit.
And not to mention that she's being represented by Benjamin Crump, who is one of the most high-profile attorneys when it comes to civil rights.
Exactly.
And so, from a report that was actually published this week, they said that the College Board sent her the investigation, what they found, and she decided not to continue fighting. And so, she will take the test again. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Again, because it's like you mentioned, you know.
But if she makes the same score or not, then she has to be stuck. Okay, if she takes it again,
Sister, I hope you score 1,500.
And I don't know. It's like two ways. Like you get there, right? She she prepares or whatever, takes the test, makes another 1230 or even higher than that. Then what? Like, so it's like it's just like a. If she takes it again and still makes well than her first score, then, then what would the investigation look like? But then on the other side, if she takes it again and it's less than what she scored, now she's stuck with this 900.
Right.
I mean,
what I'm saying.
Coming off the Super Bowl, and excuse the analogy, but I hope she's like the New England Patriots when they were found cheating or whatever. They found out that guy was... photographing the practices, and then they just blew everybody. All right, y'all found us out, and we're gonna blow everybody up. Exactly. I hope she gets a 1,600.
Exactly. I hope you get that.
It makes everybody look bad.
You know what I'm saying? If you need anybody that is I'm telling you, I probably be the best in court. I ain't a lawyer, but I do know how to argue good points. You know what I'm saying? I'm an excellent debater. You know what I mean? I come in there and I just drop it on them like this. Hey. Do what I said before I slap everybody, including the baby.
Why the baby?
Bailiff.
Oh, like you said, the baby. I'm like, where the baby coming from?
But man, I just feel like they just that stuff, man. I don't understand that, man. I be like, yo, okay, so she went through the steps in order to get better. Now you trying to excuse her getting better? I don't get it, man.
Well, hopefully, the score is a score. A test is a test. Wherever she gets to go to college, hopefully that she shines. Yeah. And she, pursues her dreams
of being a dancer.
And then that won't even matter. Yeah. You know what I mean? So.
Hey, baby.
We praying for you.
If you don't want to have the college experience, just go learn how to dance offline. You know what I mean? Because you ain't got to go to school to be no dancer. You could just learn, save your money. Go to a dance school and learn how to dance.
An inappropriate song popped in my head, and I'll keep that to myself.
Thank you.
Okay.
Because I would hate for you to go waste your mom and dad's money at school to be a dancer. It's more things at that school, that university. They ain't trying to dampen your dreams, by the way, but just trying to be realistic and use a cost-effective way to pursue your dreams, because being a dancer is you're either talented with it or you're not. Most of the people that have to go learn how to dance are not talented with it. Most people that go dance and find their lane with it already know how to dance. It's just honing their skills.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to go to school to be a dancer and that's what you're going to put in real life, don't do that. Go to school and find something else. Find a skill that may help you if you don't make it being a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Because dancing is an art that don't have to be taught. It just is honed to get better.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
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 So don't do that.
So outside of this, another hot topic that has been in the media is blackface. From Gucci and this sweater, whatever.
Oh yeah.
To
Ralph.
WB. To Ralph not refusing to resign.
I like
as the Virginia governor over this blackface scandal.
Well,
he puts down his head.
It's just so much to unpack, but I'll let you go, Steve.
I mean, the sweater caught my eye, and wow, I mean, we're here talking about it. So we're
here talking about it.
All right. I mean, short-sighted overall. I mean, I know what we're trying to do with it. Put some lipstick on a turtleneck, but just don't make a black one. Don't make a black one. And you could have done it. You could have pulled it off. If you have a white one, well, yeah.
I just think it's a slippery slope.
It is.
Yeah, and I don't like that they play with this slippery slope. You know
it.
You know. Like, why do you even try now?
It's socially insensitive. At this point.
Exactly. It's just like you trying. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to invoke this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm tired of it. I can't.
But the thing is like in a lot of cases, the person who's designing this sweater is so ignorant and apathetic to any tropes of racism, enslavement, and what have you. I believe that...
Is it a baby doing this?
Well, not a baby, but just somebody that vapid and...
I don't believe in them people anymore. You know why? It's this thing called the internet.
It is.
And there's too many people have too much involvement in social media.
But the thing is about
to say, I don't know.
The thing is about the internet, though, is that you have to look for the knowledge.
Man, but
most of the time.
But even the current socio-political climates that we are currently in, it's too much of it going through the pipelines for you not to see it at least once.
Our current climate,
You know what I mean? I just don't understand that. I just like, okay, you cannot just say, I don't know, I don't see those things. I
don't know isn't an answer anymore.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't take that answer no more. You be like, I don't know. Well, you just get on out of here because I can't have. We won't have an enlightening conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not. If all you have is I don't know, this is something I tell my nephew. Like, I can't take I don't know from you no more, man. Too old now. You know what I'm saying? You either did it because you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Or you just don't care.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I feel about the designers and stuff like that that keep doing that stuff. I'm like, you don't care. You know what I'm saying? You just trying to get a rise out of people.
They're dancing on the line, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm sure this gets people looking at Gucci, you know, one way or the other.
And they're using it as a tool, you know what I'm saying, for marketing, because I feel like they just like all press is good press. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So they just, I take the good with the bad. Yeah, I want to shoot them. They showed, that's what they use a lot now. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, well, whether it's negative or not, we still got people talking about us. And that's why I was like, well, you know what I'm saying? You kind of just, I wish I could put my hands on you. But, you know, that's against the law for me to do.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Now I have to talk about you and just try to remind you that this is wrong and this is why this is insensitive and this is why you need not to do these things. As if you were my child. You are not a child, you grown up person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Play by the rules, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got nobody coming at you doing stuff like, I don't get that stuff, man. I wish I could just go to Gucci and just be like, bah! in the mouth.
Right through the turtleneck.
Through the turtleneck. It'll be red for real when I get there.
See, I think it reminds me of an episode of Blackish, and they was it Blackish? I think it was, because I think they decided to let their son do this photo shoot, but at the photo shoot his sweater was blank. But when they in post, they put the monkey, and I think that was like the time around
that monkey in the journal.
And so they came to the board table where where the people make the decisions for, I guess, the design process, and like I guess the designer submitted that they make the decision of whether or not this will be marketable or whatever. But I noticed the lack of representation.
Yeah,
right.
So I feel like it's the same thing that's happened, because we had the lack of representation within these board, members.
Right.
That's how it slips through the crack.
Right.
Exactly.
And then at the same time, then it makes me think, like, I feel like it's like one of those shows where you have to have at least one black person. You have to have at least one other person.
One black person that's gonna say something.
Exactly.
Not one dude just gonna sit there and say, "Yes, boss."
Yeah.
But then how much would his opinion matter? Because you have this one person, you have this black person, and then the rest of the board is basically majority white. So it's like you have a voice, but do you? So would the lack of would somebody actually
I'm
be
loud
in there?
enough for 6 people. So if they have me in the boardroom, I'm like 6. I say stuff, period, anyway, and yeah, I'm not just that guy. I don't let stuff, because even like when I see stuff, I'll be like, hey, that's kind of white of you, sir.
But I think, to your point, this is giving way or rise to a new role in corporate America, which is the Chief Diversity Officer, which is giving, I guess, black people a voice where we often might not have a voice at the table. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just really because I think it stems from a lack of representation, and just a lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even if like people say they don't know, you know what I mean? I'm like,
they know.
What you seen what happened to H&M?
They know.
The people on your team should have just said, let's do our research about this thing before we put this out here. Instead of just say, it'll be cool. I think it's funny. You know what I mean?
and I kind of laugh. And I think also it's like a transition happening with corporate America and advertising, to where we mentioned it when we had Kendra on, as far as now corporate America tapping into popular culture.
Yeah.
As far as relevant popular culture, it used to be to where, because we didn't have the internet, because we didn't have all these platforms for culture, advertising was basically a generation behind.
Yeah, because it was just newspapers and stuff of the old stuff. If it went commercials and newspapers, it didn't matter.
Exactly. So then, like, an advertiser would kind of use sensibilities from a generation behind to advertise. Yeah. So now that everything is at everyone's disposal,
it's current.
It's current and stuff like that. I believe there are still executives left over from yesteryear who still have their posts that are just out of touch.
Hey, see that in the House of Representatives right now. There's some dusty jokers in there that need to go ahead and get out the house.
Get out the house.
That's gonna be on somebody's
t-shirt. Time is up. Give it up. Let somebody else do it, because you ain't doing nothing but recycling your same ideals that ain't helping this country move forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I just went there, but anyway.
I mean, it's true though.
But I think that's a great segue to talk about, or shift from Gucci to the governor of Virginia.
Yeah.
And how we see him pictured in blackface. I think he was the one in blackface, but that's neither here nor there. We see him in a picture with blackface, and then a Ku Klux Klan robe and mask, or a Ku Klux Klan fit. And this picture was featured in his medical school yearbook. We see how racism funnels or is channeled through different professions, and that's why you have such a disparity when it comes to black healthcare. That's why you have such a disparity when it comes to being represented when you have these major fashion companies. And so you just see racism being funneled and channeled through different professions because of the lack of knowledge, the lack of sympathy and empathy that one could have in their youth. Not even their youth, because he's in medical school, so he's grown. He knows better. But just not, just not taking the initiative to learn. That's
what I'm saying. Like, that's why I keep saying people just recycle ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Like, they keep just taking ignorance into areas that people need to start broadening their minds and learning that their circle is bigger than the one drawn around their feet. You know what I mean? And in their houses and stuff like that, because it's too many times that all these places are not diversified and they just trying to keep it like they want to keep it without changing. You live in this whole country with millions of people that are not like you. You know what I'm saying? But you still want to remain ignorant. You still want to put ignorance out there. You want to teach your kids ignorance. You know what I mean? I don't understand that, because for one, you know what I mean, you're not helping, you know what I'm saying, the greater good by being that way and thinking it's funny or thinking you are representing something that is a superiority complex and stuff like that. Cool down with that, man, because at the same time, I guarantee you, you know what I mean, most of these people that you are looking down on, them the main people that helping your life go around. Your grass getting cut by somebody that don't look like you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody taking care of your kids that don't look like you. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff like that, but you still want to recycle that ignorance, and then you still want to command respect. Come on, man, you ain't being that respectful. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna respect that. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna stand and let that just keep on going, because I gotta live in this world. You know what I'm saying? With you. You know what I mean? Like, and I want to get to the point where I can at least have a conversation with a person that don't see the world like I see it. You know what I mean? But the thing of it is, what we do is we'll argue the point and say, yo, it ain't like that. Because like a lot of people, I hate when people say I don't see color. That's one of my pet peeves. When people say I don't see color, I say, well, I guess you just run red lights all day long. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way you can say you don't see color. You see color. You know what I mean? You may not see. I would rather you say, hey, I don't classify you like that. You know what I mean? But don't say you don't see color. That's a cop out. You know what I'm saying? You can't use that no more. That's just like saying I don't know to me. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, that means you have a lot more to learn if you don't see color, because if you live in a colorless world, you really don't see my point of view.
Absolutely.
And to add to that, you're stripping that person of their humanity.
Exactly.
Right. If I identify as black and you're telling me you don't see color, then what am I? After that.
Exactly.
Saturated.
And that's on the other side of the coin. I mean, most of us don't have the luxury of not seeing in color.
Right.
We just don't have that luxury. We cannot claim that same luxury.
Yeah, it's a privilege.
Exactly. So yeah.
So yeah, you know, Governor of Virginia, you need to get your life together, man. I'm glad.
Resign.
Yeah, resign.
Resign, please.
We don't need your kind representing nothing in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't. I just wish I could. I wish they need a cap on how many terms they can serve.
I think so.
Like, cause that if you got the highest office
for governor, I think there is a
the governor.
There's a two-term.
Yeah, it's a two-term. It's just like presidency and governor. But I think like the Senate and all them people, get them out. Right. Because there's some people in that there's some people that been serving for 50 some years.
Because the thing is, like, at the end of the day, the Senate and the House is supposed to represent the populace currently.
Right.
So yes, you have been around for this community, you know, so to speak, forever, but I'm sorry, things change. Things change, and our representation has to adjust with it.
Because that old dog might have not learned no new tricks. Because That's how I look at it, because it's like things change in people's point of view. Most people that are in politics, most of the time what they come in on is what they stay riding with, because that's their stand. You know what I mean? So they keep fighting in that area. But just like I say, society changes. Society is a living organism that changes overnight. You know what I mean? And you constantly need people that are aware or in the mind state of what the current climate is for society. Just like we have a bunch of people that are baby boomers that don't know nothing about PC. They think it's okay to say what they want to say, feel how they want to feel. If I want to throw dirt at you and hit you in the face, I ought to be able to, because I'm a red-blooded American. Not true, because you throw dirt at me, I'm going to put these paws in your eye sockets. You know what I'm saying? Like Eve. But, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Like, you have so many people that are not, you know what I mean, current. You know what I mean? They are outdated people. They are dinosaurs of the political realm. You know what I mean? And it's time for them to go ahead and get up out their seat. I know it's comfortable. It's leather. You probably got all the bells and whistles in your office. You probably got a Hawaiian punch fountain in there. But get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Let the new people come in. Let new ideas come in to be able to help mold society and push society in the direction that it needs to go in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I told y'all it was so much to unpack. I got to add this in there too.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
He also, the governor of Virginia, he also rescinded that he was in the photo and said that he has done blackface before for Halloween to dress up as Michael Jackson. Like that made it any better. He said, no, I don't think I was in that photo. I don't think I was in the Ku Klux Klan or in blackface, but I have done blackface for Halloween to dress up as Michael Jackson.
Well, sir,
which version of Michael Jackson?
Come on.
Thank you. You stole that from me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's my line.
I'm guessing rock a few days.
I wanna rock with you.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, stuff like that. I just like, you want me to dismiss you just because and you probably said that thinking you were funny, huh?
Wacko Jacko, right?
No.
Who knows what he is, black or white? But anyway, yeah, that would have made me knock his chin loose.
Well,
knock his chin. That's basically a contradiction.
What?
A contradiction, like, it's like you said that's not you in the photo, but you've done blackface.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just
so is he saying like that wasn't mean that particular
photo? But I've done blackface.
Is bad. We all agree.
But I've done blackface
Jackson,
before.
I can make fun.
But
of
I'm
him.
dressing up for Halloween.
Yeah.
I get a pass. No,
nah, you don't.
So I'm not a murderer in this scene, but I stabbed a guy
once before.
But once, I did it.
Exactly.
So, but not that picture.
Not that time.
No, I wasn't at that rally.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
too much.
I wasn't at that rally, but the one where we burnt the cross in the yard, that was
me, though. That was me, though.
So that's what I'm saying, man. Like this political climate is just, we shouldn't allow the ignorance anymore.
We shouldn't.
It's just, it needs to change. I know we say it a lot, you know what I mean, but just waiting on president, man. I'm kick everybody out of the house.
Just waiting on Jesus.
Huh?
His return.
Waiting on Jesus and his return.
And y'all will see me being president and be like, hey man, I'm just tell y'all right now, I'm coming to the house.
Oh.
And who don't need to be in there, I'll get y'all.
Oh, if Darius became president of the United States.
So you're like
you're
like Nancy Pelosi this
You need a social
we
media
everybody
team. I got you.
Trust me, I'm building my team right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm building my team right now. I'm gonna be.
You get Chris as your bodyguard.
Chris gonna be in. He gonna be in my cabinet.
Okay, all right.
He got more morality. Chris will keep me from blowing holes in the earth.
Okay.
Chris was like,
he'll have that second button.
Exactly.
That you need
like,
to press.
I'll press it. He'll be
like, No, I'm not president. I'm not president.
Cancel that button.
Take it back.
Take it back. Ain't gonna do nothing.
I'm not pressing that second button. I'm not going there with you.
Alright, cuz. Alright, cuz.
Yeah, cause that's how I'm gonna talk when I'm in my room. Like, alright, what's up, y'all? But when I be
in the State of the Union,
I'm be like, hello, fellow Americans. How are you guys doing? You know what I mean?
It was fire, cuz.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I got two. That'll be me inside the cabinet.
The state of our union straight, cuz.
We doing real good out here in these streets. Money coming in. People got jobs. Keeping it real out here. I told y'all I was gonna bring us back. Back to back like Drake.
Grizz Maxwell agrees.
He said fast.
He has accepted your nomination.
You know what I'm saying? And got me. I'm gonna have my vice presidency. I need to have a vice president that they don't want to kill me because he'll be president.
There you go. You gotta have just a complete buffoon.
Yeah, I gotta have somebody like you shoot me, you know you next.
You know.
Right. Who do you want?
Yeah,
who do you want? Nah. I'll be a good president.
But we have special
I'm gonna cut all my hair off and everything. I'm gonna go back to Caesar with the waves. Yeah, I ain't gonna have that with Barack Obama. Barack Obama didn't have no waves. I mean, he went no do-rag sleep. He just went to sleep.
Very.
So stressed out. He ain't had time for no do-rag.
I just come up that day. I be walking off the plane just
what?
Just with the do-rag on.
Do-rag on.
I'm telling you, I make sure it blue and had an eagle on the top. I had an eagle crest on the top.
The eagle.
I'm not doing this with you.
And walk off like Siobhan, come on now.
I'm gonna see that at a beauty store now. Someone's gonna see this at a beauty store.
Like Siobhan, come on now. We gotta go ahead and get out here. I gotta get these people together. The house is not acting right. They talking about they gonna lock it down. I put my foot in they John Brown hind part before I let them lock down the house. Wow. Now, what? Square off. What the boxing gloves at? Get everybody one. I'm taking them down one by one. And your old people, I'm finna go ahead and sing you to Jesus. So just
wow.
Have your wheels ready, cause when I uppercut you gonna see him. Bah! He go like, Jesus, that you? All right then.
Anyways, we have special guest Jordan Davis with us here today. Thank you so much for the input that you've put in so far with these conversations, and actually suggested these topics for today.
Yeah, he did suggest these topics. He did a lot of the groundwork. We didn't have to find nothing to talk about. Right, he just said, bah, bah, bah. I was like, hey, him being a good, productive guest.
Well, it's been a great week in politics, so
it's
been exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna get a little bit into who you are, what you do, what you're going to school for, and what are some things that's been happening in your life,
and what things are you aspiring to be in your life?
Okay.
Not all at once.
Not all at once.
All right, so I am R. Jordan Davis, as Mella said. I am a junior English major at Morehouse College.
Whoop, whoop.
I know that's interesting in terms of me wanting to pursue politics, but I'll get into that later.
Okay.
What was the other question? I'm so sorry.
So
that was a lot.
It was a lot.
She did shoot all the questions.
I was like, bow, 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 bow. You gonna get all this? But no. So you've already told us where you at school, what you majoring in. So what are your goals with politics? What are some of the things that you've already done in politics as well? So, I know you were a part of the Stacey campaign. And
I was.
Was it exciting?
It was exciting. I was there during the beginning when the campaign was just beginning, and they were looking for people to fill roles, and they were just starting the groundwork of it all.
Right.
And then I actually got an offer to become an intern with the City of Atlanta in their executive communications department.
Wow.
So under the administration of Mayor Reed, I was handling their social media as well as communications, and that included press releases, mayoral remarks, mayoral speeches, things of that nature. So anything to do with communication, I was basically involved with that. And so back to Stacey Abrams. So I did that for a semester, and then I came back to the Abrams campaign in the spring semester of 2018. So it was January of 2018, and that was when I was able to introduce. Well, prior to that, I was able to speak and kind of give my reasoning as to why I'm supporting her at a rally, and then after that semester, in the fall semester, I was able to introduce the lieutenant governor, who was Sarah Riggs Amico, at the President Obama rally that was held at Morehouse. And so that was a big deal. That was just, you know, being faithful in my work. I think my boss really appreciated my work ethic and what I brought to the table, and saw potential in me. So I was grateful for that opportunity, because it was huge.
So, absolutely. Yeah. And you were also named at the Forbes under 30. So
I was an Forbes fellow.
Okay.
And so that is a process where you apply to a practice area. So my practice area was politics and government, and they accepted my application, and I was able to go to Boston for a 3-day conference.
Yeah.
And just think of just listen to different workshops, listen to different conversations about people in politics now and what they're doing and how they got there. I was able to meet a great, I hope he can be my mentor one day, but Mayor Tubbs, out of Stockton, California. So it was just amazing to see so many political powerhouses in the room who have been named Forbes under 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
hey, man.
Yeah, it was
very
good.
That's good, man. That's a great experience.
So I just remember back in the year 2000. That's when I turned 18 to date myself.
Dang, you old.
So I was able to vote for president.
He was 2 years old.
What? You were 2?
He was born in 98.
Oh.
Dang.
I'm going to continue.
25.
I'm going to truck through my
really
questions.
thought he was older than that, but he's not.
But I'm going to truck through my questions. But that was my first chance to vote for president when I was 18 years old. So what would you say to someone of that age now getting into their civic duty of voting? You know, it's very discouraging in our current political climate, as we've discussed. So what would you say to a young person as far as getting involved in that process?
Well, I think I was very fortunate in terms of my background. I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, which is kind of the bedrock of the civil rights movement. Yeah. So voting rights and your duty as a citizen, and the price that was paid for you to vote was always heavily ingrained and taught to me. So I think I came in with kind of an upper hand when it came to knowing my civic duty and what that meant and what it looked like. I can remember last year driving to Birmingham because I forgot to fill out an absentee ballot, driving to Birmingham at 4 o'clock in the morning, voting at 7 o'clock, and coming back for class in Atlanta. So I make the commitment,
dedication,
to
baby,
because people died, people shed blood, people were bruised and beaten just so that I could have this opportunity, and I dare not take it lightly or take it for granted. And so just knowing your history, knowing the price that was paid and how this is a privilege, and everyone doesn't have this privilege, whether it be through them being involved in the criminal justice system or whatnot, but just knowing that it's a privilege. And Stacey Abrams in her State of the Union response said, we're now living in a time where politicians are choosing their voters and not the other way around. And so the one way to really ensure that we're choosing our politicians and that we have a voice is to go out there and use it. We can't sit back, not vote, and then complain about what's going on. We have to be active, proactive, in doing our rightful due when it comes to being citizens of this country.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? So many people. I mean, I know when I was younger, I was just like, whoever's going to be president regardless of how I vote. You know, that was my stance when I was young. You know what I mean? Like, Only time I think the first time I really voted was when Barack was running but I think he was the first person I actually believed in. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, I like his policies. I like what he's saying. He sounded like he, got it together. I was just like, man, I'm gonna vote. You know what I mean? I feel like my vote. I want to vote now because I actually saw somebody. I was just like, I actually listened to every one of his speeches. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, dang, man, he the one. If he don't win, I don't like this country no more. I'm gonna go Castaway. Get me a Wilson. Yeah. Talk to the ball all day. But that was the first time I was just like, man, I'm moved to vote. You know what I mean? I actually feel like, I need to vote because I want this to happen so bad. I'm willing to cast down how I feel. But it also got me interested in political process and political climate because I started to research more and read more. And I was just like, dang, man, I'm almost really into this.
Right.
And not everybody that I've been voting for, even on the local level, I know exactly what I'm going in here for. I know what you stand for. I know what you don't like. I know what they do. They line up with me, so I'm voting for this. This bill ain't gonna pass it. That's why I tell them to read up on the stuff you're going there, but don't just be clicking stuff and all that stuff like that. Because you might think that's in your favor, but when you get down to the fine print, it's drawing a line on your section. So don't do that. So Yeah. But it got my mind open to it, and that's when I was like, man, I see the process, and I see why we have this process, and I see why it was fought for.
And just speaking on the governor's race that we just had, got national attention. It was a fairly close race, probably closer than a lot of people thought it was going to be. Do you think that race kind of galvanized maybe voter participation and research more than past years, where it might have felt like a foregone conclusion, or no?
Absolutely. I think in the same way where most citizens in the United States felt when President Obama ran in 2008, I think Georgians felt the same way when they saw Stacey Abrams. She was real, she was authentic, she was genuine, and she did not sugarcoat anything. She said the real problems of the state and had plans to tackle them head on. And so I think when things did not go in her favor and things were brought to the light of the injustices that were going on behind closed doors.
Yes.
I think that really, galvanized people, as you mentioned, into doing more research, to getting more politically engaged, and to become more aware of their surroundings and their elected officials locally, on the state level, and federally. So, yeah, I definitely think that this primary election season in general, because Gillum, I think, did the same thing in Florida. Right. I just think it really shaped how voters look at election processes.
Yeah. And I and for me, just like even in this vote, because I was, I started talking about her earlier. And it's like I had started getting her emails and started reading, and once I started listening and reading and doing all that stuff like that, because it's like I tell people, I'm a researcher. You just know if you want my vote, you gonna earn this vote. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's just, but the thing is just like all the things that went on around the election process, where people votes wasn't counted, and absentee ballots was being invalidated and stuff like that. I'm just like, golly, I can't believe it's still going on right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. And I'm talking about, it was millions, and there was still a lot more that were not accounted for. You know what I mean? And just to see that still goes on today, I just was like, oh my goodness, I thought we came a long ways, but we have not. You know what I mean? We have not come far. You know what I'm saying? Far enough. Right. You know what I'm saying? In the political process that, well, I hate this word, but minorities come in contact with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it goes to show you that a lot of people that have come from impoverished areas, areas of, few financial backings, you know what I'm saying, they still get pushed to the side and not accounted for.
Right. And I think we saw modern day how many bubble gum is in a jar, how many bubbles are in this container of, you know, how many bubbles are in a bar of soap. I think we saw modern day, you know, voter suppression.
Yeah.
And we saw it was shocking to most people, and I think that's what really got people geared up for this presidential election. And I think it's going to be a great one. I think it's going to be one to really look out for and see how many people come out, because I think people are just at the point to where they're just tired of seeing wrong being done.
Who do you think for the Democrats, who you see coming out being a great candidate?
I would love if Stacey ran. I know she's still on the fence. I would love it if Stacey ran. I'm excited about Booker running. I'm also excited about Williamson. I don't know if you all know Marianne Williamson. She's an independent, but she's talking about reparations, and so I'm here for it.
Hey, I'm here for that.
Hey, what?
My check.
What?
Right. And so,
I show up in some knickers. The little short pants with the shoe with the bow. I show up with that. My check. I was like, hey, give me my check. I'm finna. Don't give me no check. Just give me my 40 acres. You can keep the mule. Give me 40 acres, a tractor, and some seed.
And see, that's the thing with America. America has never, you know, fulfilled its promise to marginalized groups, whether it be African Americans, 40 acres and a mule, whether it be Native Americans, giving them their land and promising not to run pipes through it, just give them free range. They've always gone back on their word, and it's an integrity issue, and I think that's why we have so many racism problems now, because it was never dealt with properly in the past. And so we have to elect people who are going to be our voice at the table and not put us on the menu.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I think
put that on a t-shirt. I won't wet.
If you done?
I just like that saying he just said.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Don't put us on the menu.
On the menu.
You know what I'm saying? Represent us at the table. We ain't here to get ate on. We here to eat. Huh? Give me that double cheeseburger with some french fries.
Anywho, if I'm being honest, I don't think that wasn't really my upbringing as far as like it being one taught to me why voting is important, but then two, it wasn't encouraged to. I wasn't encouraged to vote, so I actually didn't like my first time voting was actually when I voted for Stacey. Okay. Like that was
golly.
Yeah.
No, didn't we stop? It was blacker.
I mean,
I was about to say age when it came from Obama. So
dopey millennial.
You know, and even when Obama, like, I was 17 when he was doing that. I wasn't even of age. But I could have done his second term. But you know,
how old are you, man?
I'm 27.
Dang, man.
Yeah.
The math just wasn't in your favor.
So yeah, I think I didn't really understand the importance of it till I met you. Honestly, because just the way that you're so passionate about it and the way that you were just like promoting it, it just made me research. And then, cause like, you know, that day when I was voting, I was like, what am I supposed to be voting for? Like, cause I didn't know, but like, I didn't want to go in there not knowing and then click something that, you know, I wasn't exactly. Yeah. But I think just like Darius, it's definitely prompted me to actually do research about what's going on in my, you know, community. And I think my excuse for a long time was like, well, I'm never in one place I'm never in the same place for a long time. So I don't really bother to do much. I think, in my adult life, I think Atlanta probably has been the second longest place that I've lived, outside of where I grew up, Jessup, Georgia. And so, like, I'm literally like a nomad. I'm like, I don't stay in one place for too long. And so, but I think just kind of like having that mindset of like, no matter where I am, you know, if I have some residency somewhere to be able to have a voice and help, like, it shouldn't matter. Like, that was such an inspiration when you said that you literally woke up at 4:00 in the morning to go all the way to Alabama to vote and come back to go to class. Like, that's commitment. Yeah. That shows how much, you know, like,
Ain't that what? Ain't Alabama where that little boy walked to work at?
Is it?
Yes.
There's dedicated people in Alabama. That's all right. Dang.
Dedicated
people from Alabama do not play about life. They don't play.
What's your life looking like, Walter?
That joker walked 10 miles
exactly.
the night just to get to work on time.
On time.
Alabama people,
a movie job too. He wasn't just going to sit on his keys.
He went to walk
That's
to
what I'm
move.
talking about. He was finna go move. He was
Stuff.
finna go do some real manual labor.
Yes.
Trust me, I used to work for United Van. I know that ain't no game. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got a whole house to move. Whew.
Right. Exactly. Gee,
I was about to say his feet was finna be howling at the moon when he got there. Man. Alabama people, y'all strong, man.
Committed.
They don't play no game. Voting, working. They going to work and they going to vote.
Right. You ain't got to worry about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. They gonna vote, they gonna work.
They gonna vote, they gonna work. Hey.
So, I know that your actual major in Morehouse is kind of different from what you actually aspire to do. So, how did that kind of come about? Like, your interest in politics?
Sure. So, English is such a broad major, and anywhere you go, whatever profession that you want to go into, you're going to have to know how to write. You're going to have to know how to communicate effectively. And especially with me wanting to pursue law, I found that English was the closest thing that would prepare me for law school, because all you do in law school is read and write.
That's
and
true.
So as an English major, that's all I'm doing. I'm reading every night. I'm writing papers, and so I felt that would be the best way to prepare me for law school.
Yeah.
Now, when it came to politics, I said, well, I can just pursue internships and experiences that will help me and kind of cultivate my passion for politics. So the summer after my freshman year, I was in D.C. interning for Congresswoman Terry Sewell, who is from Alabama's 7th Congressional District, and that's where I picked up on different legislation areas that I wanted to focus on. So education being one of them, voting rights being another one of them. And so I really got the groundwork of what it means to be a policymaker and what it looks like to make legislation and how to effectively enact that legislation so that you can see benefits and positive change within your community. And so that internship was definitely the turning point for me, and really saying, okay, I can do this. I can make a living out of this.
Yeah.
And this is something that I really want to do and go for with full-fledged. So.
Yeah. So with that, like, what is your actual aspiration within this field? Like, what do you see yourself doing long term? Or
so long term, I do want to run for office, but I think that would be the long term goal. But I am such a busybody. I don't see myself being constrained to one position or one title or one field. So I've thought about lobbying. So that's when you go to different lawmakers and lobby on behalf of whether it be corporations or whether it be organizations. So maybe like a state board of education, lobbying on behalf of an education policy group, things like that.
Yeah.
So I've thought about lobbying. I've thought about running for office. I've thought about owning a political strategies firm, helping political figures, preferably disciples, become politicians, because they're needed in that arena.
Man. Yes.
So just chief of staff, counsel for different political officers, political elected officials. So it just ranges wherever. I'm literally open.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose to do such a broad major, because the opportunities are limitless.
Yeah.
And I'm not limited to one thing. If I did political science, there's not much room you can go in,
you
know?
Yeah.
And so, it just.
That's why I don't never understand it, because I hear a few people say that, you know what I'm saying, like political science kind of boxes you in, you know what I'm saying? We're doing other things that involve, it's like picking the thing that say, just like you pick English. That is so broad, but it covers so many areas, because that pretty much prepared your mind to go into the next phase of like going into law school, because that is true. Law school, all you do is read and write. Every person I ever known been like, that's all they do every day. And I'll be like, couldn't do it.
Right.
Because I'll be like, all right, but you know what? Bump it. I'm done. Finna go be a dentist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like looking at so many things that come through, even like lobbyists. Like sometimes I kind of like put things in street terms. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I feel like lobbyists are like the runners for the numbers game back in old Harlem. Right?
Yeah.
They just run door to door, make their case, and they gone. You know what I'm saying? They going back to their home hub. Say, all right, didn't work out for me. They didn't work out this time, but we're gonna get them next time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah. But sometimes people put I feel like lobbyists got a bad stigma about them.
They do because most lobbyists or the wealthy lobbyists come from big corporations, whether it be the NRA, whether it be there's some other organizations I'm blanking right now that are typically bad.
Well, you got what's the power company, big power company?
Or like
really,
OPEC or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Like monopoly.
Yeah.
Usually monopoly companies.
Yeah.
And those are where the wealthy lobbyists come from. And so they have an agenda to kind of lobby for the goals of that company and not really for the greater good of the community or society. And so when you have legislation issues such as education or voting rights, you're more so geared toward the people. You're not more so looking at an organization or being tied to an organization or being bound by an organization. You're more so looking at what can I push for that will make the country better.
Yeah.
And so with education, it starts with children. Education disparity is so real. I was blessed to have such an eclectic educational upbringing. Pre-K, public school, private school, and I've seen the models and what works and what doesn't work in each. And I think just looking at those different models, it has encouraged me to really kind of rectify the issue of educational disparity within particularly the African American community, because we just don't have the resources as most communities do, and just getting that funding into different public schools so that they can have the books that they need, so they're not reading from books today from 1992. It's insane the things that they're having to go through within the education system, and it just sets them far behind. And we wonder, I know y'all were talking about this with Jazz, people telling others to pull themselves up by their bootstraps when they don't even have boots to
pull
do that with. So
I can just dust off my feet and keep on moving.
So basically not being bound by a big corporation and lobbying for things that you'll see positive change for within your community.
How you feel about charter schools?
If Ashley is watching this, she's laughing right now.
Because I have to ask everybody that talk about education, and I always hear people say public and private, but I'm like, hey,
what about charter?
What about charter schools?
So the idea of charter schools, I'm not totally against. It's more so of the structural framework behind the scenes. So charter schools usually have a board of governors or a governing board or a founding board, and those members of the board get tax write-offs. And so whatever money comes to the school, some of those board members get a percentage of that funding.
Yep.
And so you really see wealthy people on these boards, and so it's really
you said what I thought about.
It's contributing to this. The wealthy stay wealthy while the poor stay poor. But the idea of charter schools in and of itself, I'm not totally against. It's just that
have somebody working for the students instead of working for themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what I see a lot in charter schools. Now, there's some that I have seen, like in Augusta, Georgia, it's a charter school. Davidson, it used to work. You know what I'm saying? Before they got some greedy people on the board. Got greedy people on the board. But, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what you find out too often at times why charter schools either close down, you know what I'm saying, or that person don't soaked up so much. And the reason why charter schools close down because the people that are on board are just soaking the money up and not dispersing the resources in the school. You know what I mean? They just there for the tax write-offs and stuff like that. And you be like, dude, well, why did you do this? You just go get a job. Don't put these kids out.
And then when they close charter schools, they'll go and build another charter school.
That's when
you have different charter schools popping up within different communities.
Yep.
And it just continues to
they were like, all right, we don't milk this area now. Let's go get the other one.
Like professional charter school makers, founders. So
they go get bad businesses just to get the tax write-offs, and then you're like, all right, this business is with all the way out, and now it's just done. Yeah.
You know me so well. That's what Ashley said.
But yeah, you know what I mean? Like that. Man, I can talk about charter schools though.
Yeah.
I can go in on them judges. I don't see them. Some people out here that do children very badly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But it's like, this is our future. You should be preparing them. You should be preparing them. You should be investing in them. And it's like you're doing the complete opposite.
And it's like
you bring them in this big shiny building. Never mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You bring them in this big shiny.
Man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say we've had this conversation on the show numerous times about generational bridges and how they're not being built from our previous generation. I can't even call Generation X as our previous generation. It was so small. So it's like more like the boomers or whatever, not really building a bridge for the late Xers and millennials. They kind of
Generation Z, because I'm Generation Z.
Right.
I don't even know what
these
are anymore. I'm so lost.
Okay.
I mean, he right though.
He's right.
I know, but he keeps reminding me how old he is.
Yes, you're finally old.
Hey, it's all right. You're finally old. You know what I'm saying? Once you just don't.
For the longest, I didn't want to accept it either. I was like, I am a millennial. I'm a millennial, and I'm not.
You're not.
I'm
really a Z. You're a Z.
I'm a Z.
But yes, like,
how did I become a millennial then? I don't understand that.
You on the borderline.
I was X
under
in the beginning.
It's 81.
But you remember we were X back in the day.
We were X back in the day.
Yeah, because like before I graduated high school, they was just like, yo, y'all Generation Xers. Yeah. Don't know anything, blah, 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 blah.
Then they reclassified us to infantilize us even more.
And then they were just like, we're going to dwindle your mental state even more.
Exactly.
You're a millennial.
Yes. But the thing is, it just seems like there's this slander campaign.
It is.
An entire generation of people to, strip power from them.
And that's exactly what it is.
So that way, it's like the boomers just get to, they prospered, and then they just burn the bridge behind them.
And that's exactly how it is. You're right.
And then they claim no one helped them. Yeah. No, that greatest generation, they believed in helping.
Yeah.
And they did it.
Yeah, because just like, just like our grandparents and stuff like that, they grew up like in the time of segregation and all that stuff like that. Yeah. And like I used to hear the argument all the time because this is something that a lot of old people around us believe.
Yes.
It was like segregation was the end of us. You know what I'm saying? Like helping one another. Because it was like we had our own farms, we had our own food, we had our own stores, had our own banks.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, kind of. And I mean, it's like I tell them, I feel every argument, and I was like, I see your point.
We got to rely on each other.
Exactly. But it was like, I was like, but why we couldn't take that to the next level? Like, why we couldn't just say, all right, we got this, let's make that, but let's also help one another. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we do live on this plot of land together. You know what I mean? Because, that's what they did. But I understand that things disconnect. But the thing that is, it's like now, the generation before us, which are our parents, they're just like, we made it across, burn the bridge down. You got to try to make it over here.
And not all of it is malicious. Like some of that happening is circumstantial. Like, just the previous generation not being able to because the economy changed the way it did. Where it benefited some people and it didn't benefit others.
It benefited people that
our parents can't help us. Exactly.
Because just like a lot of times, it's like, even I was telling somebody this day at church, like a lot of times, most times we laid on opportunities that other people get skipped over. And just like back in the day, our parents were not mentally prepared for the opportunities that came across.
Not generationally,
they wouldn't, they wasn't taught. You know what I'm saying, to look for those opportunities, because just like now, people tell people like, hey, work hard, and you'll eventually make it. But no, it's work smart, work hard, and you'll make it. It's a formula. We only had one part of the formula. You know, because just like that came from all of slavery. That came from the point where people were eating off the land and feeding themselves and stuff like that. But like now, since we are so dependent on other people feeding us, which I think is wrong, I think everybody needs to learn how to grow their own food and have a place to grow their own food. But you know what I'm saying, that's another conversation altogether. But just like now, we're so dependent on government. You know what I'm saying, government and people and all that's supposed to work in an ecosystem that help each other. Because just like government right now, it just take, give a little. You know what I'm saying? And everybody from the bottom, all this stuff is going up, but it ain't trickling down. So therefore, the people are not getting replenished. Their work seems, our work seems like it's in vain now. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, man, what I work for? I don't see no benefits there, because you see the public schools around us failing. You see government assistance falling. You know what I'm saying? People getting less instead of getting more, and inflation is happening more. You see all these things happening that don't supposed to happen, and if we have inflation, the pay rate's supposed to go up, but things are staying the same, and people are falling through the cracks, getting hurt. You see old people that can't even feed themselves or have a place to live. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, my grandma lived somewhere like where I grew up from, which is Lincoln, where the cost of living ain't high. Because if she lived anywhere 40 miles east, west, or north of her, she wouldn't survive. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, all these things, the government are not looking out for the people, but the people are also not demanding anything of government by doing what they're supposed to be doing in order to make this process move along for the people. Because that's what the government don't fool people to think. Hey, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? The people are here for you. You're supposed to represent the people. You are my representation at the table, saying, hey, my people need this.
Right.
But now people just showing up like, I'm going to eat what I need to eat. And then I go back home, say something nice to the people at some rallies or some town hall meetings to get them votes again. But I'm not really doing anything to build that community up. Now you have food deserts and communities and all that stuff like that. Man, that's stuff wild, man.
And going back to what you said about we're not demanding it, the community's not demanding what they need from politicians and from the government. That just reminded me, I don't know if you all had a chance to watch 46 Minus One's State of the Union address.
46
but, you know, he was talking about choosing greatness over gridlock, cooperation, compromise, the common good. But yet he knows nothing about any of those. He knows nothing about compromise. He knows nothing about choosing greatness. He knows nothing about not being petty.
Right.
And it just really opened my eyes to the fact that we really do have to demand what we want and what we need for this country, because at this point I don't know where the country will be in the next 20 to 30 years.
Yes.
Because of his leadership style, his ability, his skills, and the things that he's just enacting. You know, I was really hopeful that the State of the Union would be something that would unite us. He failed to mention the government shutdown.
All that stuff. And that's what I was talking about.
We got 5 more days, guys.
5
more days to that self-imposed deadline.
Pending.
You had working people who had to file for food stamps.
Working people.
They got jobs on paper.
Have jobs on paper, but weren't getting paid.
And we're getting paid. Exactly. Like, they are employed. They just ain't getting paid.
And some politicians were advising people will just get a loan or something like that.
So you want me to get debt? That's what you basically telling me.
Right.
I'm barely because it's like people don't
get us more money.
Well, let me tell you something.
You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. What makes me think about stuff like that? All right, just think about money. You know what I'm saying? If a person most people, they tell people that, hey, you need to have 6 months of saved up just in case something bad happens. Most people don't live like that. No. Most people that are working at them jobs are making check to check lives. That's their life. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So they don't have the means in order to create that kind of cushion for themselves.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying, you ain't doing nothing to help them, but you saying, okay, dig your hole deeper.
Yeah.
Go loan some money.
Yeah.
That you may not be able to pay back, so therefore we will be able to dwindle.
You won't be able to pay it back based on your circumstances.
Exactly. Yeah. We won't be able, we'll dwindle your credit score even more.
Right.
And put you in a further state of financial starvation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't get that, man. I just be like, hey, man, that's why I'm saying, man, like, something got to change. People need to wake up and stop being the sheep that they are. You know what I'm saying? But because what makes me sick about some of the things that we do in this country, that we'll rather not believe in nothing than to believe in something and go after. Because what we do live in, we live in a state of like, man, I just don't want to get let down. You already being let down daily. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You were let down back in the day when he was elected to be in the House. You know what I'm saying? They should have just moved the House. He wouldn't have been able to find it. But anyway, but I'm just saying, like, you gotta at least try. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't like when people like, man, something got to change, but I hope somebody else change it. Nah, you be the change.
Right.
Go do something.
Yeah.
Don't just sit on the sideline talking about the person in the game throwing the ball and talking about, man, I would have threw the ball better than that. Yeah. Like, come on, man. You just sitting on the sideline criticizing when you ain't even out here working out.
Right.
You ain't even trying to get on the field and help us push down the field and get a victory. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people want to sit in this current political. I don't like the people out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll rather let this fail. They'll rather let society go in complete failure in the United States than to actually get out and do something. You know what I'm saying? They would rather just talk and just let life happen to them. And then when things go bad, they want to point the finger at somebody else. I want you to buy you a house full of mirrors, people that ain't doing that, and put them in every room you got. But when things go bad, all you get to do is look in the mirrors and point at yourself. She ain't do that.
And these elected officials get 6-figure salaries. Members of Congress, senators, 6-figure salaries. So it's easy for them to say, "Oh, right, get them
exactly, yeah."
So to a degree, it's apathy. It's apathy. Like, if you're, like you say, if you're in that bubble, you can't comprehend what these people are going through. And that's not representation. Something about that has to change.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know,
I'm telling you, and that's what I'm saying too, man. Like, that stuff is just beyond me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I was like, okay, you are living a comfortable, but it reminds me of like Rome. You know what I'm saying? The Republic. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, stuff I read about it. And most time I compare our society to Roman society. That's the closest thing. It's a very
comparison.
Great comparison. Almost symmetrical. You know what I'm saying? And you had got to the point where they built it so, people coming out of these areas are representing the people. But the thing that is, people start getting money hungry. People start greasing the palms and all that stuff like that. It always happens. Money and power corrupts. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you had been living in lack of a lot of the time. And you don't have any kind of empathy. And you don't look back to your brother and say, hey, man, how can I help my brother up? How can I help my sister up? How can I help my area, my community up? That has gone out the window.
The community they're supposed to be representing.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
The people elected you to represent.
Stop rocking, because I feel like they get in their little groups and they help each other go up. They forget about the community they came from. That's why the schools are underfunded. That's why teachers are not getting paid now. That's why we are failing our children. You know what I'm saying? Because they have nobody. They're going to get to the point where the kids don't have nobody to believe in anymore. Because you see this teachers striking in L.A. now. You know what I'm saying? They underpaid. Teachers are the most underpaid.
Especially in L.A.
People.
Especially in L.A. If they're that badly underpaid in a place like California where the standard of living is so high.
They're living in poverty, yo.
Yeah.
They living in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like, most teachers live in poverty now. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because they keep paying teachers
The same rate.
1979.
The same rate. It's the same like $35,000 starting salary.
And more than 50% of teachers got master's degrees now, man.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Trying to make more of it.
Trying to make more of it, and they still throw pennies at.
Exactly.
That's crazy to me, man.
So Byron says we have to learn as a people to play the game.
Who is Byron?
Byron Word.
Oh.
Oh God. So dead. Starting over. He said we have to learn as a people to play the game. Republicans will settle for 46 minus 1 simply because he's a Republican, but we decide to stay at home because we put extra judgment on every Democrat.
Yeah, I remember Byron saying something like this a week ago. Yeah. And we don't rock with our side. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people in the GOP, I don't care who it is, they rock with.
They're unified. And Laz and I were talking about this earlier today. He was saying that the Democratic Party had 3 to 4 years to come up with one unified person that they were going to put
and they
out.
did not.
And we failed. We did not do anything.
No.
There was no organization. There was no unified front. And now we have all of these
It was a bunch
political
of
candidates coming up.
Yeah, man.
We have was it over 400 people that have nodded to the fact that they want to run?
Yeah.
And half of those being more than half of them being Democrats, because the Republicans know who they're gonna.
Yeah, they know. They know.
Yeah.
They know. They're like one more turn, everybody. We give them one more heave ho, and then, but that's what I'm saying. Like that, everybody is egoing in the Democratic Party, man. Like they just it's an ego, and that's what I'm saying. They ain't got nobody to kind of like crack the whip at them and just say, "Yo, we on the same team." And, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter who is ahead. Just know that we all a part of this spirit that's trying to go forward and go through the air. Let's hit our target. How about that?
And in addition, there are prominent people, not necessarily politicians, that were telling people, the guy that comes top to mind is Nick Cannon, telling people to stay home and not vote because you don't want to vote for Hillary or whoever was running against her or whatever. To just not, or, like Hillary or Trump, neither was the, valid choice, so just stay home. Just stay out of the process. And that's why
he wearing turbans now.
That kind of sticks in my craw a little bit because, like I said, when I was 18, I waited 3 hours to vote. Mm-hmm. Okay, 3 hours just to see that George W. Bush thing happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was crazy, but it did. It's like it's important. Every vote counted, and so for somebody so influential to say, "Don't even try," because this is going to happen. Well, then you've taken yourself out of the process. I've even seen like some sessions of government to where the Democratic side, because of what's being voted on or because how it will look, they'll stay out of the vote. So like, oh, I'm not responsible.
Yeah.
No, you're failing the people you represent. Even if you're the only one who votes for the right thing in your heart, vote for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's how it works.
The Democratic Party can no longer afford to be the temper tantrum party.
They cannot.
Man, that's why I need to be president. Y'all need to help me get in there, man. I'm gonna get right. You think I'm playing? Byron gonna be my vice president.
Oh. So people don't want him to be the president?
Hey,
if you
Byron's stricter than me, man. Byron got that daddy blood in him.
Byron, you gonna run?
Byron coming in with a belt and whoop everybody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, get me in there. I get the Democratic Party straight.
Oh my God.
All y'all straight. Y'all need
sound leadership.
You need sound leadership. When I'm coming in, just get y'all all in the line and say, Hillary, sit your little dusty tail down. Now you're too old. I've been on hit you in the back of the neck with a bag of dirt and you've been on croaked over, so you ain't strong enough. You ain't gonna make it. Bernie, sit down, you old too. You almost knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door. You know what I'm saying? Everybody.
I mean, and then look at the candidates, for example. You look at a Kamala Harris and you look at a Cory Booker. And there's division already with these two candidates. People are calling out Kamala's political record because, her prosecution. Well, she's a prosecutor. She has no record in, like, human rights and stuff like that. So, of course, you're going to be like, oh, well, I don't know about her human records right. Well, she's a prosecutor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then with Cory Booker, you know, there's varied opinions on him as well. You know, just
he go get that money.
But I mean,
well, you know, and I've done research on Cory during his tenure in the Senate.
Yes.
What I found most fascinating was he spent 8 years in a New Jersey project before I can't remember what position he was vying for up until he became a senator.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, that really told or showed me that he really cared about the community and he wanted to really know the issues at hand. And he comes off as a genuine person. I've met him before as well. And I'm just excited to see him run. But again, you said, you know, the division, we just don't have a united front.
Yeah.
And it's February. We have until November of next year.
Yeah.
And see, and that's what I was telling them in a previous podcast. It was like, yo, we should have had a guy already
ready to
going
defeat Trump.
Exactly. Go ahead, getting your campaign strategy,
right?
But it can start going into effect this year and campaign through into the presidency. We supposed to have a champion now. But now we still got people just saying, "I do it," and I do it.
We have pop-ups.
Yeah.
Even today, a senator from I think it was Minnesota said that she would run. She's running. It's just every day we have somebody popping up
because everybody has their own
pop-up shop.
It's a pop-up shop.
Their own thing to bring
to
it. Everybody's popping up with their own thing to bring to it.
How old I
gotta
be to be president, man?
35. You have to be at least 35.
Well, I'm gonna wait on.
That's why, like, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she can't run until 2028, guys.
Right.
So I mean, she's killing it so far.
She is killing it. I'm proud of her.
We have to wait till 2028. She's only 27, so
I'm running. Oh, well, I'll be president by then. I'll be on pass the torch to her. Like, hey, Miss Cortez, I'm done. Come on in here. You are the Latino Oprah Winfrey.
A light moment for the State of the Union address, though, was when Trump noted to the increase of women in Congress, and everybody in the Wyatt stood up and started cheering, and that was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
That was dope. That
was dope.
I really appreciate it.
But all I need when I say stuff and I make a point, I'm gonna have Byron have a mic, and I'm gonna let him say indeed.
That's like his favorite word.
That's all I need to say. Go shake people to their core, and they gonna know I meant it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I gotta clean up. I want to keep my dreads just a little while longer. You know what I'm saying? Before I cut it off and get my little straight, little center of the face.
I'm gonna miss your dreads.
But I'm gonna miss them too. But I gotta save us, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I gotta take over. I'm gonna do my whole little internet campaign. I'm gonna take a little page out of Barack Obama book, but I do have a better political strategy than he had that I will put in effect. I think it'll work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have somebody to consult.
They were like, he ain't got no political experience. I got life experience. My granddaddy said, hey, you ain't got to be a banker to know how to count money.
Right. Come on. And that's the debate, too. What approach do we take when it comes to strategy? Are we going old-fashioned, knocking on doors, meeting people where they are?
Come on.
I think it's Trust the process. But I think it's a mix.
More digital?
Yeah. I think it's a mix. You know what I'm saying? Because people need to see you. Because they need to see you. Is key. But the thing of it is, I feel like, you have to have a nice mix. You know what I'm saying? You need to have that political campaign where you have your videos and your truths and your stuff on out. Plus, you're going to have people bashing you and stuff like that. I don't care. I don't care about stuff like that.
You're right. It does have to be a balance. And I saw this in one of my groups on Facebook. It's kind of an older crowd, but they asked the question, how well versed in Twitter or social media period do you want your president to be or your government officials to be? And I think it's time to tap into that portal a little more. Like Obama kind of scratched the surface with a politician using it to rally support. But I think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had like a workshop for people in Congress to get better at Twitter, to learn this medium. This is how we get news, guys.
This is how we get information. Unfortunately, it is. And a lot of people get bad
46 minus 1 has set this precedent.
Yeah,
we get news from social media.
Right.
Man.
Yes. Right.
But this is Stacey, if you really consider running for president,
please do.
Call me. I got a formula for it.
So we can't be as voters.
I want to share it now, but then I don't want to give nobody no heat.
So we can't be as voters like just diminish this platform because it's another thing to diminish this generation. Like, oh, I don't want my president on Twitter. Well, why not?
That's old people.
Why not? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just them diminishing a generation still,
because it's not
and they're tools.
Exactly, because they still want to be able to see the president talk at 6 o'clock and at 6 a.m. and 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
You have to give way.
My fellow country. in a broadcast.
Exactly. Yeah.
A time has to pass. Every time pass. Every sun sets.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled program.
But the thing, exactly. But that's the
every
thing, man. Because it's like that's the old school way. You know what I mean? Now we got. People walk around with this in their phone watching TV and stuff all that like that. I watch Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do. Hey, all the stuff I know about politics. I got a laptop that I hardly use to go research on. I do all my research on this thing. It's fast enough. And then the new Samsung coming out to it, the 1 terabyte of memory in it, I'm gonna be fire. Y'all don't understand.
Fire, cuz.
I'm gonna be the smartest person walking around here that don't.
You already are the smartest person.
I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leak all my genius out in 2020.
Oh.
I'm just like building.
Yeah, you're Billy McFarlane genius.
Yeah, I'm a little bit smarter than him.
But he's a genius, though.
He's a genius.
But not in the right.
Yeah, he ain't got the right. He need a focus.
Nah, he just knew he could fool people.
Yeah,
so
he knew he could fool.
Foolhardy things.
Yeah.
Bar said, "What's your Amazon Prime?"
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if you want it for real, talk to me online, man. I get it to you. I don't use it a lot, so yeah.
I'm so done.
But yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
This is good.
This is great.
I'm gonna be president 2024.
2021.
All right, Darius J for president 2024. Get ready.
Yeah,
Get
go
ready.
ahead and get your lives together. You know what I'm saying? Get your baby some boots.
So he can pull them up.
Matter of fact, don't give him no boots. I'm gonna give him some boots.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You get a boot. You get a boot.
Exactly. I'm going to Fort Knox and I'm be like, I'm gonna just start handing gold bars out. As soon as they say he's president, I'm like, hey, I want my inauguration at Fort Knox. I'm handing all black people gold bricks. Well, hey, here you go.
I'm really gonna be thinking my president is black, my Lambo is blue.
I'm trying to tell you. Hey, I'm gonna set the city on fire. They be like, it's the first president that made me feel alive. You know what I'm saying? My vote really counted. You ain't even vote. I seen your thing. I
just
know
let me stay in the White House. I'll be okay.
Exactly.
You were just at home hoping.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? Exactly, because Steve gonna write all my speeches.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
he's good
gonna do all my media art and all that stuff like that. And stuff I can't.
I'm gonna do a lot of stuff.
And then he'll be my voiceover person for when I really want to sound very smart.
Just tell me what to say. You got all the smarts.
You know what I'm saying?
This is fire, cuz.
And just trust me, black people, I'm hanging out gold bricks, so I want everybody to catch a bus, Uber, everything, Fort Knox, and
mega bus.
Not mega bus.
Exactly.
Get your money in line.
Pull up.
Get your money in
line.
What you're still missing.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Mella gonna be in charge of my media. You know what I'm saying? She gonna make sure people catch my right angles. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. After she come from the Oscar, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just show up at the Oscar when she give a speech and I'll be like, what's up, y'all? Didn't know the president coming back. I told you I'm a man of the people. I do everything. I know what you're doing. I know when you're doing it. So don't play with me.
It's my right angle.
I'm gonna be the most celebrated president because they were like, that dude really gave us 40 acres and some mules. He ain't give us just one, he gave us some mules.
Some of them.
You know what I'm saying? Plural.
Praise God for plural.
You know what I'm saying? So, reparations is coming. If the lady don't get it, I get it to you. You know what I'm saying? White people gonna be mad at me though. I'm telling you that now. They was like, he had like gold bricks to everybody. I was like, I'm just making sure everybody get their 40 acres first.
Do we have any record of anybody getting
40
acres in a mule?
No, they did not. Because even the people on Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and what's the city in Florida that the black people got burned out of too? They started to have their 40 acres of mule. They had their own banks, grocery stores like that, but they're like, them people are doing too good. We got to drop bombs off a bad day. And you know what I'm saying? They go, that was an act of, those were 2 recorded acts of terrorism, you know what I'm saying, in America. Against black people.
Yeah, they talk about Iraq and with terrorism. We got terrorism right here.
Man, that terrorism been happening for years here. But, you know, we ain't going to talk to y'all about that too much. We're going to try to end on a happier note. We're going to round this off, you know what I'm saying? We're an hour and 41 minutes in, so you know what I mean?
We doing good, y'all.
We did a good podcast, you know what I'm saying? Jordan over here dropping his knowledge, and I can't wait to be able to vote for him wherever he at. If he in another state, I move to the state to vote for.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? I just buy a plot of land.
Well, you'll be a legal resident.
Yeah, I'll be a legal resident. I'm gonna be living that. Of course. I ain't
gonna kill that right now.
Exactly.
You know someone's gonna accuse you of living there.
If I run for president, he gonna be in my cabinet.
Just like they did Stacey.
I just tell him, hey, give it to your lieutenant. You know what I'm saying? I need you in the president's cabinet. You know what I mean? I need your expertise. Make sure I don't do anything wrong. I'll let you handle education. Since that's your thing. I'll let you handle education. You make sure the schools get right and the babies get some good lunches and the teachers get paid.
Yeah, because Betsy not doing it.
Because I'm going to tell you now. Betsy, you saw it. I just want you to know that now. I want you to know I said it.
School choice, right?
But you know what I'm saying? Because teachers, if you vote for me when I run, I guarantee I give you the salary that you deserve.
You hear that, Ashley? I know
you know what I'm saying. I make sure you make an 80K.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying.
Chris said, "Just pay all these student loans and we good."
I can't promise you that, Chris. You know what I'm saying? Because you did go to school.
Because Sally Mae was and is a thug.
Exactly. I'm about to say,
she is a thug.
Sally Mae is undefeated in fights.
She wins
every time. You can say, I'm going to defer. So you be like, yeah, go, keep going.
Keep on
Wait till you get that good job, then I'll come a knocking. There won't be no deferring. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this your auntie.
Your auntie, Sally.
Run them pockets, sir. A man. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Final thoughts, everybody around the table. I'm going to start with you, Miller, Elemental P, Wayne G.
Well, first, Byron says that he will take a Buckhead townhouse and a Tesla instead of a 40 acres and a mill.
Wow. That's
that's what you want?
That's the modern day.
You're going to be in D.C. the whole time. You're going to be in D.C. the whole time.
Didn't Tesla bankrupt though?
Property.
Didn't Tesla bankrupt though?
I think so. I think so.
But my final thoughts would be, I don't know. Can you come back to me?
All right. Steve, are you ready for your final thoughts?
I am ready for my final thoughts.
Steve always ready. He stay ready so he don't have to get ready.
I don't know. There's so much
Steve
that we
and Neil
about today.
I know, right? I know, man. You know, you're overwhelmed. You did a good job today. You did your note taking and stuff like that.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, man. You filmed us, you know what I'm saying? Let us do our thing. Yeah. I appreciate you. Hey, Steve and Neil, final thoughts.
Well, my final thought is a shout out to Maya Moore, Minnesota Lynx forward, for taking the 2019 season off to focus on her life, her family, and ministry. I think that is a tremendous sacrifice. I mean, you know, say what you will about her being a professional athlete and whether it's easy.
They don't get paid enough to stay an athlete.
That was exactly what I was getting into as well. We have rallied on this show for this pay gap and how unfair it is. And, you know,
absolutely.
I mean, I can't say no to $110,000, but
I can. I'm better than that.
Yeah, you know, but
I'm worth more.
But I'm glad she's able to make this decision and really fortify her life, enrich her life, and, you know, spread the gospel as well.
Come on, Maya.
But hey, I mean, but yes, I want to put a platform on that as well. Like, you know, it's easy to say no to a WNBA minimum, you know, maximum salary. It's the maximum salary, $125,000, than it is for maybe an NBA player who makes about $40 million, like John Wall's about to make for being injured.
$40 million a year.
So, So yes, I want to call attention to that. Y'all need to get back to the table. Y'all doing these women wrong. But
y'all need to get a marketing team in place to pay these women.
Because you're making money. You are making money. You're making like 30 million. You're making 30 million a year off the television rights. That's enough to pay everyone the maximum salary. Okay.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's everybody don't make the maximum salary.
Because everyone doesn't make the maximum. So, but shout out to Maya Moore. I want to use this. Shout out to Maya Moore for taking 2019 off to priorities. You know, in the prime of your career at that. So.
Thank you, Maya Moore, for being an amazing woman. Mm-hmm. You're gonna do good in whatever you do. You excel in sports. Now keep on excelling at life.
Yeah.
So final thoughts, Melody.
Yeah, I'm ready now. One, if you're listening or watching right now.
Sure.
That was the loudest whisper ever. If you're listening or watching,
I got my headphones on, cuz. Throw it.
If you're listening or watching for the third time, please subscribe. Click the notification bell. If you're listening,
I'm glad you said it now.
And type in CONVRS, the number 8, and click. And click subscribe.
Oh my god.
Subscribe and please click the bell so that you know when we are going live and when we are posting our series, Blockbuster Dominance and Mellow Reacts with yours truly.
Melanie, get on her reacting.
Yes. I'm actually excited about my next one. But anyways, my final thoughts is I think just with everything that has been discussed on today, I feel like I've learned the importance of my voice and that it matters. So that's the thing that I'm gonna pay forward. When my final thoughts is like your voice matters, not just in the political world, but in general. So you know, stand up for yourself. You know, make your voice be made known, and don't shrink back. You know, there's gonna be things. There's gonna be people that are probably going to go against what you have to say. If it's not constructive, then don't listen to it. That's my final thoughts.
That's good. Final thoughts are Jordan Davis.
Final thoughts. So, I just thank you guys for allowing me to come on here and just share a little bit about my life and my passions. Not too often do you see black young men in political spaces, in the political sphere, because it is heavily dominated by white males. And so I just thank you guys for broadcasting different professions where most people will not see people of color in them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, keep using your voice, keep demanding what you deserve and what you want out of this country, because we built this for free, and so we deserve.
Yeah.
We deserve.
Baby,
I deserve for
we
you
deserve
to
10 times
40 years
and more.
Ashley's final thoughts is you're not hood.
Ashley. Give her the look.
I did tell him that one time. This whole
and I'm proud
episode.
of you for that. I'm proud of you for that.
I wanted to sometimes, but I let it go.
I'm aware though. I'm aware. But yeah, so keep fighting, keep demanding what is rightfully yours, because your ancestors paid a huge price. And so yeah, walk in that freedom that we now have, and use your vote, use your privilege, and use your voice.
Come on with it. Yeah.
Darius J, final thoughts.
I'm serious now. Let me take it down.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, final thoughts, me. I hope that you guys, you know, I think the common theme is being able to use our voice and use our lives as an example. But I pray that we put the work into life that allows our voice to travel far. You know what I'm saying? And allow our energy to go far in life. You know what I'm saying? I hope and pray that we press forward, you know what I'm saying, in order to do the things that need to be done and to stand on a platform of righteousness and peace. You know what I'm saying? Even though sometimes we have to do some things that's going to shake up the atmosphere, I pray that we can do this, you know what I'm saying, with truth and dignity and honor. You know what I mean? I feel like these are things that are dying in our current political atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? I hope that, you know what I'm saying, we have a champion in the Democratic Party. Yes, I am a Democrat. That will truly stand for the people, not just in words, but in reality. Because I feel like a lot of people do great at lip service, but do not do so well at actually applying the action from their words. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that we have that arise, you know. But if Trump wins again, you know, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be trying. I'm still going to be doing the things in order to become the person I need to become, because I know I'm not here by mistake, and I know I'm here to make a change in this life. And I will make it. And I hope that I have people that are willing to stand in that truth as well.
Yeah.
Peace.
Before we close out officially, Byron's final thoughts is somebody open some black-owned nail salons, gas stations, convenience stores, and dry cleaners.
Don't wait up. I got you, dog. Sure, I got you.
And then Chris says,
this is good, Chris.
Consistency breeds excellence. A change in mind creates a change in character, attitude, and in expectations.
That's a good job, Chris.
This is good. Y'all should do final thoughts more often.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all need to chime in.
Final thoughts.
Viewer final thought. Any of y'all can think out there that got thoughts?
We might have to feature Chris's final thought on our Instagram page.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
That's good.
Nah, I mean, that was good.
That was it.
Maybe when we get a studio space, we'll do a live studio audience, and we'll let y'all talk on mic.
That'll be dope.
That'll be dope. That's
Future.
an idea in my mind. You know what I'm saying? It'll come to life later on.
Needed.
Most of the things that I speak into life, they happen. That's why I keep saying I'm gonna be president, because I know if I keep speaking, and I'm gonna end up getting the opportunities in order to walk in that truth. And when I become it, don't be surprised. Just ride with me, and I got you.
I got you. I'm be right there in the car with you.
Exactly. We got
I'll be in the car riding with you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
All up
Just
in the
ride with
motorcade.
me. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. I'm like, hey, these my people. They gonna help me get us back in the road. You know?
Yeah.
Between the mustard and the mayonnaise. Y'all know what that means?
All up in the
As I look at my ponytail.
Mustard and the mayonnaise, you know, the white and the yellow lines on the road.
Oh.
Gotta stay between.
You did tell me that before.
Yes.
I just keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, this is Convrs8.
Yeah!
That's about it. Thank you so much.
Hey man, thank y'all
in.
for showing up and tuning in to us and giving us a chance to entertain y'all in the way we know how.
Yes.
Thank you, Jordan, for coming and visiting with us and sharing your life with us. We appreciate it. You know what I mean? You are a highly intelligent and looked after fellow. We love you. We thank you for sharing your life with us.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what your future unfolds.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Mella, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Stephen Neal, thank you. Y'all really do put together this thing and try to make it work. You know what I mean? I'm just a talent. I don't know a lot, so you know what I mean?
We help keep you straight.
Y'all help keep me straight. I'm a dreamer, so you gotta watch me. I mean, in the air, just yeah. But Melly, you help guide me and help me stay straight. And Stephen Neal, you put out the work that we need in order to make it. And I thank you. You know what I'm saying? This is Convrs8.
Yes.
Let's talk about it in association with Convrs8 Media Collective. Go like us.
Go like us.
Subscribe us. Subscribe to us. Rate us. And all that goodness.
And ring that bell.
Ring that bell, for you would know if I can stop having to tag you in order to get you to come here.
Yes.
Don't act like, hey, support us. If you don't support us, I can't be president. Do you not want me to be president?
Right. And also, if you're looking for ways to donate to us financially, there will be a link below in the description.
Run them pockets.
So that we can just continue to grow in our craft and be able to continue to deliver quality content to you every other week.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't playing with y'all no more. We out here, we trying to build a big brand. You know what I'm saying? And,
but we do have an anomaly in our schedule. Next week we will have a Convrs8 show.
Yeah, we will have a show next week.
It'll be out there, but
I will tell you the guest, but you'll see it on social media.
Yep.
You'll see it on like Tuesday or something.
You know what I'm saying? Like, heart it. You know what I'm saying? Instagram. We finna plug y'all Instagram, so be prepared and don't be mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
We love y'all. We conversate, and we out this. Peace.
Peace.
Slide to stop.